Oh, what's up, Raider Nation? Welcome to Taco-Bout Raiders Tuesday. I'm True Raider, and this is True Raider Podcast. Now, um, I just got back from DC, you guys, man. I was at a big convention, yelling, screaming. My voice is kind of cutting out, so we're gonna see, how much I got in me, how much gas I got in the tank today. It's all right, man. We'll just go ahead and get straight into it. So, this is the Raiders versus Chargers Week 1 preview, and I'm starting to get excited, guys. Real NFL football is on the way. That's right, man. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. So, I'm at work today, right? And I had a little bit of downtime in the afternoon, and I came across this article talking about the Chargers, right? Chargers news. Chargers unveil an unofficial depth chart for season opener against Raiders. And that is why it relates to Raiders, is because it's against the Raiders. All I know, man, is that I don't like digging through Charger stuff. So, the Los Angeles Chargers have unveiled their unofficial depth chart ahead of the 2024 season opener against the Las Vegas Raiders. The game is set for Sunday at 1:05 p.m. at home, the Raiders' home, the home away from home. On offense, the Chargers will utilize a 21 personnel formation, which includes one running back, one fullback, one tight end, and two wide receivers, along with the quarterback and offensive line. The defense will operate in a 3-4 scheme, featuring three down linemen, two edge rushers, two inside linebackers, two cornerbacks, and two safeties. Now, let's go ahead and get into their breakdown real quick, man. I don't want to spend too much time looking at the Chargers. Um, my computer's freezing up, man. Yo, can you guys still hear me? I don't know what's going on with my computer, man. I'm not being able to get it to do anything. Hold up. Let me fix this real quick. My apologies, you guys. I'm gonna have to get this figured out. Yo, can you guys hear me? Dude, I don't know what's going on. Yo, can you guys hear me? That is crazy. For whatever reason, my computer decided right in the middle of a live that it was just going to go ahead and force me to do an update, which is that's crazy, y'all. So I don't know what's going on with all that. But here we are. Here we are. So James, what's up, man? Raiders, what's up, man? Ernest, welcome back, man. Welcome back. Hopefully you start feeling better, man. Your prediction is 20-12, huh? So I'm gonna go ahead and share screen again, get back into this roster, man. I don't know what was up with that, dude. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump back in. That was crazy. Um, so on this article, whoa, and it totally kicked me out of the whole article, man. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know, dude. My computer was just, decided I'm gonna do an update and then did it. Didn't ask my permission or anything. All right, here we go. So, Chargers released their unofficial depth chart going into week one versus the Raiders. So, the Los Angeles Chargers have unveiled their unofficial depth chart ahead of the 2024 season opener against the Las Vegas Raiders. The game is set for Sunday at 1:05 p.m. at home. On offense, the Chargers will utilize a 21 personnel formation, which includes one running back, one fullback, one tight end. And I don't know if you guys saw that fullback that they posted. That dude was a big guy, man. He is a big dude. He's basically another lineman. That means that they're worried about our defensive line. They got two wide receivers along with one quarterback, one off, and the offensive line. The defense will operate in a 3-4 scheme, featuring three down linemen, two edge rushers, two inside linebackers, two cornerbacks, and two safeties. So here's a breakdown of the Chargers' unofficial depth chart. So on offense, they got Justin Sherbert. Now, Herbert is coming back from an injury. He had some plantar fasciitis going on with his foot, and so he's been out for a little bit. He's expected to be back and probably at full speed, honestly. I personally have plantar fasciitis, and that can be a tough one that can slow him down. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And then we got running back J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards as their starters, and then we got Vidal Haskins as their backups. Now, these aren't running backs I'm too familiar with, you guys. Honestly, I'm not really too worried about the Chargers at all. And we're going to see how this really kind of looks going into week one because, there's a lot of things that we can't really account for. One of the things is that Jim Harbaugh is coming in and we got different coaching, we got different defensive coordinator. And I'm not going to pretend to know all the details about their team, but, I don't really see that all being the same. We're not going to walk into this Chargers team that, we totally stomped on 63-21. It's going to be quite different, right? And then we got fullback Scott Matlock. So Matlock is that big dude I was telling you about, man. Uh, I think he was like 6'6", 6'5", 300-pounder. He's a big dude, right? So he's just another lineman, and that means that they're worried about our defensive line. Could be that Herbert's kind of a little slow coming back from this injury, and that's why they're looking out for him. Then we got wide receivers Joshua Palmer, DJ Chark, or Quentin Johnson. And then there's also Ladd McConkey, the rookie, Darius Davis. Uh, so basically, and Brandon Rice, Fahoko. We got a lot of rookies. We got a lot of new faces. They got rid of basically their entire receiving core and running game from last year. Palmer was with them. He did have 38 receptions for 581 yards. I'm not too worried about that dude, man, honestly. And then Quentin Johnson had the same amount of targets and he had 411 yards. So they're in hopes that their second year, first round receiver, uh, Quentin Johnston, is going to come out and with a, breakout year. But I don't really know, man. Honestly, I think they're going to be better Chargers than they were last year, but I don't really see them just being a playoff team year one. Then we got tight ends Hayden Hurst, Will Disley, and Stone Smart. Now, their offensive line is really where I feel like the Chargers are pretty stacked, right? Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt. Then they got Foster Sorrell. And then their interior offensive linemen, Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, Trey Pipkins. So basically, this offensive line I think is going to look good, honestly. Joe Alt, he's a rookie. He's going to be going against Max Crosby, but really, uh, I think he's going to come out right. He was the number 5 overall pick. Dude's going to come out banging right away, but I think Max Crosby is going to have a trick or two up his sleeve to really put Joe Alt in a position where his first NFL game is going to be a doozy, right? And then their defense, man, their defense, their interior line is really where they're lacking, right? Because their edge rushers, they got Joey Bosa, who is coming back from an injury. He's gonna play. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. Then they got Khalil Mack, right, who had 17 sacks last year. 6 of those were against Aiden O'Connell in the first matchup. So really that whole thing, I don't think his numbers would have been as high if it weren't for that whole setup. Anyway, I think Zamir White, what we're going to do is we're going to pound the football down the middle, and I think they're going to be preparing for that. So we're going to see what that really ends up looking like. But I think if we can attack them up the middle, get that running game going, kind of switch it up inside, outside, that's going to open up the passing game for us. And also that's part of why they have Gardner Minshew as our starter, because he's going to be able to extend plays with these pass rushers and make some things happen. So Denzel Perryman is one of their linebackers, right? And I don't really even want to talk about the rest of what they got going on, because really I'd just be saying a bunch of names and I don't know anything about any of these players. I see Cam Hart in there. That was one of the rookies that I saw. He's a backup, but it was one of the rookies I was looking at that I was hoping that we were going to pick up. But yeah, I mean, really, I'm not too concerned. I have a feeling that our defense is going to be having Cameron Dicker, the kicker, um, putting in that work, right? I'm not too worried about the Chargers right now. Let me see. Let me go ahead and go into our depth chart. But before I go into our depth chart, man, I just want to say, like, there's a lot of things that I feel like people aren't really looking at when it comes to our matchup with the Chargers, right? And one of those things is the fact that our general manager Tom Telesco is coming over from the Chargers, right? And so since he's coming over from the Chargers, he has a lot of inside information on a lot of these players. And that's going to be to a big advantage, right? And sure, there's several players that they got rid of that he had drafted. They brought in some more players that he had nothing to do with, but definitely a lot of, like their rookies. These are players that I'm sure Tom Telesco and our staff were looking at during the draft, so they know a thing or two. But really, I think Tom Telesco knows a lot of the weaknesses. And I really think he's going to get with our coordinators. He's going to get with AP, with Luke Getsy, and really be, and Patrick Graham, and be at a position where we can really attack them um, from an inside perspective, right? And so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not going to stay on too long, but I do want to talk about the Raiders depth chart because it was just released about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours ago, right? So the Las Vegas Raiders depth chart as of September 3rd, and this is their unofficial depth chart, right? And it's really weird for them to release an unofficial depth chart so close, but really we don't have any big changes, right? We got Devontae Adams, Ramel Keaton, Tyreek McAllister. We got Colton Miller and Cody Whitehair. So what we're looking at is Cody Whitehair is right now slated as starting left guard. Um, we already knew that Jackson Powers Johnson was out for several weeks because of injury, so he hasn't really gotten those reps. But keep in mind, it's an unofficial depth chart right now, and so there is a possibility that Jackson Powers Johnson might be part of the reason why they're putting it as unofficial, right? Because he could move in that starting position. I think it would be kind of good to sit him. Honestly, I want to see him play. I want him out there. I want him to be part of that win against the Chargers. However, I do not want to throw him out there early before he is healthy and ready. So I want to make sure he's good with that, right? And then we got Andre James, Dylan Parham at right guard, Thayer Mumford starting at right tackle. So we're gonna really see what this matchup looks like because we got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and I don't know how Thayer Mumford's going to hold up at right tackle. We might see a little bit of DJ Glaze coming in, sharing some of those reps. So we're going to really see what that looks like moving in. This is part of where I was wrong on my 53-man roster projection. And that was the tight end Harrison Bryant as second. We were honestly going to keep a fourth, but we only kept three. Then at wide receiver, two, we got Jacoby Myers, and we got Trey Tucker and DJ Turner listed over here in the third. I think DJ Turner is definitely going to get a lot more play than what we thought originally. Coming into the season, he hasn't really played a whole lot, mostly just special teams. I think he's going to have a lot more reps in the receiving game. And Trey Tucker, man, Trey Tucker looked great during the preseason. I think that he's, AP even said in his presser a couple days ago that this is the player that he's seen to do that Malcolm Kuntz kind of step up. And we're going to really get an opportunity to see what that looks like, moving in, man, moving in. Rudy G, welcome, man. Glad you made it, man. Glad you made it. So, we know Jacoby Myers is a dog. We know Devontae Adams, where he's at. Ramel Keaton is a guy that honestly I didn't actually think he was going to make the team. We heard a lot of good things coming out of camp. And then he had some kind of questionable reps in the preseason, especially against the 49ers. But then he had some of those really big plays that I think kind of won him the job. I think that they're seeing a lot of upside out of him, and that's why he went ahead and made the roster. And then Tyreek McAllister, he's coming over from the Canadian Football League. He was a running back. He's got, now he's moving into a wide receiver. And really, I think they brought him in for special teams mostly. He even had a punt return touchdown against the 49ers, but he did have a receiving touchdown where he made an amazing catch, man. He's very athletic. I think that that's going to be a great addition. But really, I think a big part of what's going to work against this defense, and Denzel Perryman needs to watch out because we got Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers in this tight end room. And Brock Bowers is really taking snaps all the way across. I did look at a thing earlier today, and Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers were listed as questionable. It's not reflecting on this one that just got released, so I don't know where that officially stands. I think, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll know more about that in a couple of days, but I think Brock Bowers is going to play. I think that he's going to be an integral part of this offense, and he's going to definitely see some reps week one. I don't know if we're going to see the full amount that we're going to be using Brock Bowers, but he is definitely going to get some reps and going to make some plays. And Michael Mayer, man, I think that he's kind of getting overlooked because he is a second-round pick last year, and he didn't really perform to the expectation. He was also a rookie. He wasn't really bought into the Josh McDaniels thing and was actually even questioning if he wanted to play football. So, he's definitely showing up in a better way this offseason, and I believe that we're going to see a lot more out of him during the regular season. Excuse me, guys. Anybody that missed it earlier, man, my voice is kind of going out. I was at a big convention out in D.C. This last weekend, man. There was a lot of yelling, screaming, excitement. Had a good time, man, but my voice is suffering because of it. So I think I'm going to run out of gas pretty soon. But, Gardner Minshew is definitely listed as QB1. Aiden O'Connell is our only other quarterback, QB2. Then we got Zamir White, Alexander Madison, Amir Abdullah, and then Dylan Laube. So I don't know how many reps Dylan Laube is going to get in the running game. I think really it's going to be special teams at first, and as the season goes on, he's going to work his way in. I think Zamir White and Alexander Madison, we didn't really get a big preview during preseason because they were throwing the football, right? And they were really just trying to see what they had in these quarterbacks. So we were throwing the football way more than we're going to be in the regular season. So we're going to see a lot more reps out of these guys. We also didn't want to show all our cards, before we play. And I'm excited to see what kind of leap Zamir White takes. Is he going to keep form that he had last year at the end of the season when Josh Jacobs was injured? I still honestly don't believe he was injured. I think that he was trying to make sure he didn't get injured. That way he could, shop around and get out on that free agent market, man. That's what I honestly believe. So our defense, we don't really have any big surprises over here. Max Crosby, John Jenkins, Christian Wilkins, Malcolm Kuntz. Now, this front four is just going to be absolutely amazing. It was already amazing at the tail end of last year. And then with the addition of Christian Wilkins, I mean, there's no argument. Christian Wilkins is better than Adam Butler, right? I like Adam Butler, and I'm glad that we have him on the team still. And I think that he's definitely going to make some good contributions, but Christian Wilkins is that guy, And so Joe Alt is really going to have it in for him, trying to cover. He's going to have Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby right next to each other, and that's going to be a mess. I don't think that rookie's going to be able to keep up. There was some rumors swirling around about a month ago or something where like Joe Alt was talking smack about Max Crosby. I don't know if that's true or if that's just some stuff that people were putting out there to try to stir the pot. But if that's the case, man, Max Crosby's not going to be messing around. So backing them up, Tyree Wilson, he's listed as a defensive end. I think he's going to play a little bit more interior, but we'll see how that goes. We know Max Crosby doesn't really sit out for any snaps at all. He's got 300 or 400 more snaps than the next defensive end down the line, at least this last season. So Tyree Wilson, he's definitely been slow off the block. I'd love to see him pick up his speed, and I think defensive tackle is the best spot for him because he can do more power moves and just kind of straight to it. He was also playing the run pretty decent at the end of last year, so we'll see if he actually takes a step up or I don't know, man. During preseason, he took a lot of snaps and he was looking very slow out there with some third and fourth stringers. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that shakes out. Nessa Jade and Adam Butler, definitely good additions from last year that are going to continue. And then Janarius Robinson on this other side. So right now, the linebacker room has me a little bit confused because what we have is Divine Diablo and Robert Spillane. And those two are listed as linebackers 1 and 2, and that's expected, right? But then we got Luke Masterson and Tommy Eichenberg as second. Now, Luke Masterson, we're hearing some kind of questionable stuff coming out of camp. I heard some good, I heard some bad. I'm not really sure where he's going to fully stand. But then Tommy Eichenberg has been out for weeks. He didn't play in the preseason at all. And so I don't know what's going on, man, if he's going to end up on the IR or, what's his situation. They're being pretty quiet about that. And then we got Amari Burney and Muwaga over here in front of Amari Gaynor. Amari Gaynor is listed as other. So I have a feeling that Tommy Eichenberg is going to end up hitting the IR. Amari Gaynor is going to get a big leap forward because there's no way that he's not the third best linebacker on this team, man. That dude was tearing it up. I think he had like 13 tackles in that San Francisco game. He can pass rush. He can run stop. He's good in coverage. He's honestly, I think he's going to come for Diablo's job. I really do. We'll see how that shakes out. So over here in our cornerback room, we got Nate Hobbs, Ja'Cory Bennett, Jack Jones. I've been super happy with all three of those guys. Jacorian Bennett had some bad penalties and didn't look so great last year. I think that he had some growing to do, some learning to do. Coming into year two, we're hearing great things in camp. He looked very good in preseason, and there's even some rumors that they're looking at that he might end up being corner one. Um, I'd honestly be pretty shocked if he ends up in that corner one position, but honestly, we'll see, man. He looked good coming out of college as a fourth round pick, and I'm excited to see what kind of leap Jacorian Bennett takes. And then we got Decam Richardson. Darnay Holmes was an addition that just came on. Um, Antonio Pierce said that he's known him since he was 13. And those, I mean, we saw what happened last time he knew somebody since they were young, Jack Jones. He came in and he tore it up. So I'm very interested to see what happens with Darnay Holmes. And then our safety room, man, I saw a video earlier today that somebody was saying that, our safety room is lacking, and I don't feel that way. I like Marcus Epps. He came over from the Eagles last year. Trayvon Merrick was kind of struggling before that, and it seemed like those two really, hyped each other up, man, and they had a very good year, especially Trayvon Merrick. Marcus Epps, he's this is the last year of his contract, so really he's in a position where he's got to step it up, or somebody like a Chris Smith or Paul Mayo is going to come in and be gunning for his job. So that's all we really got for what's going on here. If I had to go prediction, I'm saying that the Raiders are going to win this game. There's no part of me that feels like the Chargers are going to beat us in week one. As far as score earlier, I saw a 20 to 12. I'm thinking more of like a 24 to 20, 24 to 21, a little bit closer of a game. I think that the addition of Jim Harbaugh, a new defensive coordinator, I think that we're going to see a different Chargers team. But honestly, I think that they're going to be fighting with the Broncos to see who gets third in the division. That's just where I stand. Also, if you have not hit that subscribe button yet, we are 4 subscribers away. Let me see if I can get a real-time count. We are 4 subscribers away from our goal. Our goal is to hit 500 before the regular season starts. We need 4 more, you guys. 4 more subs, and we'll hit that goal. I plan to be live on Friday for the TGI Raiders Friday Live. Hopefully, we can hit the goal during that or between now and then, because regular season starts this Sunday, man, and I'm hoping that we hit our goal. Please share this out with your friends, hit that like, and I'm going to go ahead and bounce, you guys. My voice is giving out. That's all I got for today, man. So, like always, Raider Nation, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.